A single broken type definition once forced a 40-minute rebuild across an entire codebase. And the team didn't even know which app was affected. That's the Monorepo nightmare. But done right, a TypeScript Monorepo gives you one source of truth for your types, builds that finish in seconds instead of minutes, and refactors that ripple safely across a dozen packages. The secret weapon? Turborepo plus pnpm workspaces plus a tsconfig hierarchy that actually makes sense. Let's build one from scratch. Before any code, let's be clear about what we're solving. A monorepo holds multiple apps and libraries in one repository, sharing dependencies and types directly. The alternative, separate repos with published packages, means version drift, slow feedback loops, and types that go stale the moment you ship. With a monorepo, your web app, your API, and your shared types all live together and update atomically. The challenge is tooling, and that's exactly where Turborepo comes in. Here's our toolkit for 2026. pnpm gives us fast, disk-efficient workspaces with a strict dependency graph. Turborepo sits on top, orchestrating tasks across packages with caching and parallelism. TypeScript ties it all together with project references for incremental compilation. We're not adding NX or Basel here. Turborepo hits the sweet spot for most TypeScript teams without the configuration overhead. Let's scaffold the structure. We start by creating the root of our monorepo and pinning pnpm. The package JSON at the root is private. It's never published, it just orchestrates. We set the package manager field so everyone on the team uses the exact same pnpm version, which avoids those subtle logfile diffs. Notice we're on pnpm 9 with the workspaces features table. Run pnpm init, then we'll add the workspace config. The pnpm workspace .yaml file is the heart of the monorepo. It tells pnpm which folders contain packages. We use two conventions: apps for deployable things like our web frontend and API, and packages for shared internal libraries. The glob patterns mean any new folder under these directories is automatically picked up. No manual registration ever needed. Drop in a folder with a package, .json, and it's part of the graph. Now we install Turborepo at the root as a dev dependency using the workspace root flag. Turborepo's job is to read a task graph and run tasks in the right order, in parallel where possible, and cache the outputs. The latest 2.x line brings better terminal UI and watch mode out of the box. Once installed, we configure the pipeline in turbo.json. Here's turbo.json, the brain of the operation. The task object defines how each script behaves. For build, the depends on array with the correct syntax means. Before building this package, build all its dependencies first. That's how Turborepo respects your internal package graph. The outputs field tells Turborepo what to cache. Our compiled dist folders. The dev task has cache set to false and persistent true because it's a long-running server. This single file is what makes incremental ordered builds possible. Now the payoff, a shared types package. We create packages/types with its own package. JSON. Two crucial details here. First, the name uses an internal scope at acme/types, so consumers import it cleanly. Second, the exports field maps the package entry point. We're going with a just-in-time package here, meaning consumers import the raw TypeScript directly. No build step for this package. That's faster for pure type definitions that have no runtime code. Inside src/index.ts, we define the types every app will share. Here's a user interface, a role union, and an API response wrapper that's generic over its payload. This is your single source of truth. When the API changes the shape of a user, every consumer, front end, Backend, even a CLI tool, gets the updated type instantly and breaks at compile time if they're out of sync. That's the magic of co-located types. Types are just in time, but a utility package with runtime code is different. Here's packages/utils. Because it ships real JavaScript, we compile it. The package.json points main and types at the dist folder. And crucially, the exports map distinguishes the import path from the type declarations. The build script runs tsc. This is the compiled package pattern. Slower than just in time, but necessary when other tooling, like a non-TypeScript consumer, needs plain JavaScript. Watch how the utils package imports from our types package. We add at acme/types as a workspace dependency, then use it directly. This format user function takes a user and returns a display string. Notice the import is just at acme/types. pnpm resolves it to the local package, not npm. The dependency declaration uses the Workspace Protocol, which we'll see next. This is internal code reuse with full type safety. Here's the dependency wiring in utils package, JSON. The workspace :* syntax tells pnpm. Link this from the local workspace, always. No version negotiation, no accidental npm fetch. When you eventually publish, pnpm rewrites this to a real version. For internal-only packages that never publish, this protocol keeps everything locked to your local source. It's the glue that makes Monorepo packages reference each other reliably. A sane tsconfig hierarchy is what separates a clean monorepo from chaos. We create a shared base config in packages/tsconfig. This sets strict mode, modern module resolution with bundler and the composite flag, which is mandatory for project references and incremental builds. Every package extends this base, so you change a compiler setting once and it propagates everywhere. Declaration and declaration map let consumers jump to source definitions. Each package gets a thin tsconfig that extends the base and adds only what's local. Here in utils, we extend base.json, set the output directory to dist, point rootdir at src, and declare a reference to the types package. That references array is the critical line. It tells TypeScript that utils depends on types, enabling project reference incremental builds, change types, and only the affected packages recompile. Now a real app. Under apps/web, we scaffold a Next.js 15 application. Its package, JSON, depends on both our internal packages using the Workspace Protocol. The app consumes shared types and utilities exactly like any npm package, but they resolve locally and update in real time. This is where the Monorepo pays off. The app and its libraries evolve together. No publish step between editing a type and seeing it in your component. Here's the app actually using both packages. This server component imports the user type and the format user helper. The data is typed end to end. If the API package changes the user shape, this component fails to compile until we fix it. That's the safety net. No runtime surprises. No stale type definitions copied between repos. One change, one source of truth. Instant feedback across the whole graph. Time to wire it all up? A single pnpm install at the root links every workspace package together and creates the symlinks. Then we run turbo build. Watch the output. Turborepo reads the dependency graph, builds types first, then utils, then the web app, each in topological order. Notice the timing on this cold run. We'll compare it to a cached run in a moment to see the real speed up. Now the moment that sells Turborepo. We run the exact same build again without changing anything. Every task is a cache hit, replayed from disk in milliseconds. Turborepo hashes your inputs. Source files, dependencies, environment variables, and if nothing changed, it skips the work entirely and restores the cached output. 14 seconds dropped to under 200 milliseconds. On a real CI pipeline with dozens of packages, this is the difference between a coffee break and instant feedback. Let's understand what just happened. Turborepo builds a hash for each task from its inputs. The file contents, the package's dependencies, and declared environment variables. That hash maps to a cached set of outputs and logs. Change one source file, and only that hash and its dependents invalidate. Everything downstream of an unchanged package stays cached. This content-addressed model is why monorepos with hundreds of packages can still build fast. Local cache is great, but the real win is sharing it across your whole team and CI. With remote caching, when a teammate or a CI job builds something, the cache uploads to a shared store. The next person to build the same code downloads the result instead of rebuilding. You link to Vercel's remote cache for free or self-host with your own server. One build shared by everyone. Nobody computes the same artifact twice. In a big monorepo, you rarely want to build everything. Turborepo's filter flag scopes tasks to specific packages and their dependencies. Build only the web app and what it needs with the filter syntax. Even better, the 3 dots ellipses with a gaitref means build only what changed since a commit. This is how CI stays fast. You only ever rebuild and test the slice of the graph that a pull request actually touched. One trap to watch for: circular dependencies. If types imports from utils and utils imports from types, Turborepo can't build a valid order, and TypeScript project references break outright. The rule of thumb: keep a strict layering. Types depend on nothing. Utils depends only on types. Apps depend on both. Run Turbo's graph command to visualize the dependency tree and catch cycles before they bite you in C. Let's lock in the key architectural decision. Just-in-time packages export raw TypeScript. 0 build step, fastest iteration, perfect for pure types and internal-only code where every consumer also uses TypeScript and a bundler. Compiled packages emit JavaScript and declaration files. Slower but required when a consumer can't process TypeScript directly or when you'll publish to npm. Default to just-in-time for internal packages, reach for compiled only when you genuinely need the JavaScript output. Finally, here's the CI workflow that ties everything together. We check out with full Git history, so the change detection filter works. Install with frozen lock file. Then run a single turbo command for lint, test, and build across the whole graph. With remote caching enabled, unchanged packages are pulled from cache and skipped. This one config gives you fast, deterministic, fully type-checked builds on every pull request. That's a production monorepo. So here are the 3 things to take away. 1. pnpm workspaces plus the Workspace Protocol give you locally linked, type-safe internal packages with one source of truth. 2. Turborepo's task graph and content. Addressed caching turns slow rebuilds into instant cache hits, locally and across your whole team with remote caching. 3. A clean tsconfig hierarchy with project references and strict layering keeps your monorepo fast and cycle-free. Next up in the TypeScript track, we go deeper into publishing those packages to npm with changes sets and automated versioning. If this cleared things up, subscribe and drop a comment with your biggest monorepo headache. Circular depths, slow CI, or type drift. And we'll tackle it next.